everybody, I'm back. Instead of Dancing with the Stars, from now on it's Dancing with the Indians. Woohoo! I've been calling this Walking with the Warpath, and this is my my logo. Hey guys! Dance with the Indian! I did say I was a DJ, right? So I'm using my props in this stuff too. I don't use this. This is my hockey stick. Oh, my tomahawk. Oh, I use tomahawk. Like Dancing with Indian. I am Indian. All right. Gotta have a little entertainment, right? Well, anyways, I do call this Walking the Warpath for the Indians. I mean, for the Indians, for our soldiers, our warriors. I am student of history, and I love Native American history. It's pretty interesting. I became the historian I am because I had a dream. I was an Indian, and it was a great dream. It was years ago, probably 20 some years ago, maybe over 20. The time flies when you're having fun. And trust me, I do have fun. I love life, and like I said, I'm a DJ, so these are some of my props here. Man, oh yeah, I had a dream, and I woke up. I'm like, I'm gonna write about that. That's so cool, because I'm a writer. I love to write. That's why I write blogs, and that, trust me, writing takes a long time too. So I put a lot of time into these blogs, and as I've said, this is the information revolution. And trust me, they are at war with people like me, trying to wake people up. You know, like one guy told me, you know, what you believe in is propaganda too. I said, yeah, but it's the truth. You know, everybody, you know, and that's the thing with all this information you hear on the TV. You know, there are a lot of people out there that probably will never wake up, and they're going to stay with what the TV says. And we're divided more now since this President Obama took office. We're divided more now than the Civil War. Well, anyways, I was gonna write about the Indian adventure I had in my dreams, and I thought to myself, wait a second, I don't know anything about Indians. So I started doing research, and you can't research Indian history without learning our early history. And that's when I started discovering about Ben Franklin and George Washington. You know, it's like these guys are superheroes. And all my life, I've loved superheroes like Spider-Man and, you know, Superman, Batman. You know, and I'm like, why didn't they teach me this in school? You know, everything I was learning on my own about, you know, I got into it to research the Indian history, and trust me, I've learned everything I could about it. And like I said, I use it every day, and in this, you know, since in my 4 years of walking, I'm walking the warpath, you know, for our warriors, because it's honor, you know, and the whole tribe was on when they were at war. The whole tribe was at war, you know. It's like, and nowadays, you know, they said you hear more about Brett Favre or Michael Vick, and I do take my hat off for the you know, for the NFL to actually they're actually giving the troops time and talking, and they have been the last couple of years. I'm glad that they're doing that for the troops, because they need they need us. They need to know, because if you're the mainstream media, TV, you don't hear anything. But yeah, so I learned more about our early founding fathers from my research about Indians than I'd ever learned. And I've always been into history. I was a history minor when I was at IUP up at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. But so back to what I was talking to you guys about. I'll talk more. And it's interesting, if you notice, this isn't an Indian helmet. This is a Viking helmet. You know, I've been doing this for 4 years, and it's been an adventure. The best adventure of my life. The best idea of my life. I've inspired people to walk with the flag, which was my goal. I actually thought it was such a great idea at the time that I wanted to get out there in a hurry to walk the miles, and because I had a feeling this was going to take off like jogging did back in the 70s. Everybody'd be walking with a flag by now. Well, I was wrong, and I thought that I'd be walking with groups of people, and people would want to walk with me, and people say they do want to walk with me, and I know they mean well, and they really do want to walk with me, but Americans are very busy people. These days we're struggling. People working 2 jobs, wife working 1 job. Now we're losing jobs. I myself, been unemployed, been on. It's just crazy. This is this is America, and for even a guy like me, I'm a DJ, a chef, naturopathic doctor. And it's hard for me to find jobs now too. It's really hard. Being a modern day Renaissance man, and with all my experience and everything I've done and all the people that I know, I am a modern day Ben Franklin. So I can get a job faster than guys out there that don't have any experience and they don't know anybody and have no. I've been around for a long time. I'm 47 years old. So, but anyways, what's so cool about the reason why? It's a Viking helmet. I actually got this from Norway. Like I said, I'm going to walk in all 50 states. But I've actually walked in Norway. I walked there. I was going to. I've been not only inspiring patriotism because of MySpace.com here in America, but I've inspired patriots all around the world. Who needs TV when you have the internet? It's like I always tell people, if this was the 1970s, I've walked 6,720 miles. I think that has to be a world record for a civilian carrying a flag for their country. I've walked that many miles, and I don't think anybody's ever walked that far with a flag in the history of mankind. It's an amazing feat, and of all the things, like I said, I wanted to get in the newspapers fast, just so finally, I'm a man of ideas all my life. I've come up with great ideas. I could just go down the line of different ideas. I'm a chef. I'm very creative. I'm an artist. And I'm Italian American. Italian Americans are probably the most creative people in the world. And I'm very proud of my heritage, but I'm an American, but my roots go clear to Italy, so I'm very proud of that. And I do have some Native American in me, but on both sides, actually. My mother and my father have their great-grandmothers were Iroquois Indians. And so, like I said, and speaking of the Iroquois, when I started digging up the information on the Indians, Ben Franklin called the Iroquois Nation, they were called the 5 Nations and became the 6 Nations. He said that's our backwoods experiment, because it was their tribes came together, and it was and because of their organization and their constitution, we've actually copied a lot of things from their constitution. The Liberty Tree, everybody, that comes from the Tree of Peace, from from the so they were our backwoods experiment. If it wasn't for the Iroquois, there would be no America, and that's what really fascinated me. Being from Italy, you know, my roots go to Italy, and I've always been proud of the Roman Empire. It's like because Greeks are proud of the Greeks. Greek Americans are proud of their Greek heritage, but anyways, the Iroquois, which I have blood from. I didn't realize it. Actually, finally asked my aunt, Aunt Nornie, God bless her. She's from our greatest generation, and she's a very busy lady. She keeps busy. She's I don't know how old. She's in her upper 80s, maybe early 90s, and she acts like she looks like she's 67 or even 50. No, I mean not 50 or even 60. If 60, between 60 and 70, she doesn't look like she's from 80 to 90 in between. But hers, the secret is she does what I do. You just got to keep busy. Age is just a number. If you let it get to you, oh, I'm old now. I'm 47. Oh shoot. Heck no, man. No, I'll never think like that. But anyways, Aunt Nornie, I asked Aunt Nornie. I said, what. I told her she knew about my mom's great grandma, my dad's great grandma, and she said they were Iroquois. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And this was like maybe 2.5, 3 years ago. I finally found out. I was like, they're my favorite Indians. So maybe that's why I've known. And, Dad, my father, God bless his soul. God rest his soul. He passed away 2 years ago. He